Welcome to a brand new edition of Insta Chat with the Journalist. I'm Andile, aka the Journalist, and yeah, man, today we're chatting to a young producer from SA who is making beautiful, beautiful music, and I think this guy, is gonna be a global star. So that's why I had to have him on the show today, just to, you know, chat to him and yeah, basically just understand his story. You know what I mean? So yeah, his name is Ginelio or Ginelio. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but he'll correct us shortly. Yo, bro, how are you?
How are you doing?
No, I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me with the chat here.
Yeah, man. Look, thank you for for making time to chat to us. Is your name Ginelio or Ginelio? How do you
Uh,
pronounce
the,
it?
the first one was correct, Ginelio.
Ginelio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, dope, man. Look, I had to invite you over, just to have a chat with you because I've been listening to like, your music and I think it's dope. It has like a unique vibe to it. And,
Thank you.
I think you're a star. So I just thought I should have you over so that we can understand your story. So, before we go anywhere, I just want to know, tell us a bit about your background, like where you from, basically.
So I would say I've grown up in Pretoria my whole life. I've moved here and there, but it's never been for too long. So I'd say Pretoria.
So, okay, you're a Pretoria guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Pretoria produces amazing people with amazing talent. I know Elon Musk is one guy that Pretoria always says, yo, he's one of us, he's one of us. And a lot of great artists are from there. So, when did your journey in music begin?
I don't know. That's always a hard question to answer. Like growing up in primary school, I'd say it was. I always listened to like mixed. I listened to a bit of like EDM at the time. Martin Garrix and them were big, as well as like friends of mine in like grade 5 or 6, I think. They would go back home, visit their families, and they'd come back and tell me about Chimza and Black Coffee, and I had no idea who these people were. And they would show me videos of like the one man show, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And I used to see them playing with all the effects, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. So it was a bit of both, a bit of house, a bit of like a big room, that type of Martin Garrix and that. And then that's where it started. I decided to get FL Studio in like grade 7, I think. So I was 13, and I watched a YouTube video trying to recreate that Martin Garrix Animals track, that melody, and I remade it. But I don't know. Get seriously producing, I'd say I got into it maybe beginning of grade 9 or so, like getting more serious with it.
Wow, that's amazing. So, are you saying that you're a self-taught producer?
No, I went. There was they still exist, a place called Rise Academy. I DJed, like I had a DJ course there, and then they had a production one that I decided to try, and then that's where I learned. And then as well as I had like a mentor through it all, and he helped more. I would say like they taught me the basics, and then the mentor helped more than what I would say I got there. But I had to know the basics to understand what he was teaching. You know what I mean? So don't regret going for
Mm.
the courses.
Oh, okay. No, I like asking that question because a lot of producers are self-taught. So I always found it intriguing. But you got training, which is dope. Which explains why your sound sounds the way that it does. When I listen to your music, I get a sense that and I don't know if it's intentional, but it sounds very international. It sounds like stuff that can play like in festivals in the UK and so forth. Is that your intention behind your music production?
I'm not sure. I think it's also because it's a lot of what I'm influenced by is a lot of international music. But I always try. I like when there's a groove, so I always try keep like a bit of a African feel with the groove. Don't want it to be too like dance music, you know, not too much 4/4 type of. You want a bit of groove, people can shake a bit, you know. So I try to keep it a bit more groovy than some of the stuff that you might hear coming out of Europe. But I think a lot of the inspiration is taken from there.
You know, the dance culture, dance music is very interesting right now. Like here in South Africa, we have a lot of subgenres. We have, you know, drum, we have amapiano, we have deep house. You know, we have like there's so much going on that, you know, like if you're a dance music fan, you know, you're spoiled for choice. So, you know, looking at the scene locally, you know, what are some of the subgenres that you wanna experiment with, or are you considering playing around with, and why those subgenres?
Well, I would say if any producer said during these times that they haven't tried making a bit of Afro house, they would be lying, because I think everyone's tried it at some point. And I messed around a bit with amapiano. I like amapiano; it's quite good. I like the I don't know, the that signature sound. I really like that sound. I actually tried to use it in like one of my own style tracks recently that I'm trying to get signed. But like I use that what's it called, the log drum, and I used it in a different way
Yeah.
to see what I could do with it.
Mm-hmm. That will be very interesting to hear your sound, you know, your version of the love. You know, because right now I'm a piano, you know, there's a lot of, you know, artists outside of South Africa that are releasing Amapiano songs. And I just hope that, you know, it becomes like a, you know, it doesn't get away from South African producers. You know what I mean? You know,
Hmm.
because yeah, you know, other countries are owning it right now. So it will be interesting to hear, you know, your interpretation of Amapiano. So, you know, you said that you were messing around with it. You were what, trying to get signed?
No, I was just trying to, I don't know, just see if I could do it just for fun. And then I ended up liking that log drum sound that they use. So I was like, we'll see how I can use it. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's, even if you listen, it wouldn't sound like I'm a piano. I just took that signature sound and did something else with it. Just
Mm.
just for fun.
When is that coming out, bro?
I don't know. I don't know. I've got like 8 tracks right now trying to get signed, and I've got 2 that need to be mixed. So I'm just looking around for labels. I don't want to just release just to release. So might be a while, I think. Judging by how it's been going, I think it's going to be a while.
Okay, so when you say, you know, you're trying to get the track signed, do you mean like publishing companies, like labels that will help push the music, or are you looking for like a more stable home where you're like, okay, cool, you are signed on their label and then they take care of the business?
I think I'm trying to get signed to multiple labels, and I think it's easier to grow a fan base that way instead of staying with one label, for instance, that signs everything. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm, mm. Well, you know, that's a very smart move. You know, getting, you know, multiple labels to distribute and sign different songs. So what's that ideal like label for you that you'll be like, yo, if I can get some of my songs on this label, then you'll know that you've made it.
Well, for me, what like my main goals for this year are to get onto Ryan Murgatroyd's Swoon Recordings, as well as Still Got Talent, which is Oliver Kaletsky's label in Germany. So those are, if I can get on those 2, I'd be really excited.
Yeah, yeah, you know, Ryan is very, very talented, man. You know, he's one of my favorite producers here in SA. So shout out to him. My favorite project from you is, you know, the Shadow EP. You know, you know, like when I heard that, you know, those songs, I'm like, damn, this is really, really dope. So, you know, what was the inspiration behind it? It's Mind Shadow, ne? Mind Shadow EP. What was the inspiration
Shadow
behind
Mine. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Actually, I had that main track, Shadow Mind. I had the track, and then my mom came into the studio actually, and I have a microphone, and she was like, let's see, maybe I think it needs lyrics. And I was like, I don't know. She was like, just try it. But okay, we'll give it a go. And I don't know, I don't actually remember how we came up with it, but it was just random coincidence, I think. And we just came up with it, put it in, edited it a bit, and it worked. And I was like, that's one of the turning points. That was one of my best tracks back then, and I was very surprised how it came out.
Wait, your mom is on that is on those vocals?
Yeah. And she's not a professional singer, so but it's not that bad. I think it's good. It works. Most people are surprised when I tell them that it's actually my mom.
I didn't know that because I was going to ask you, who's the vocalist, because it's not, written, it's not credited. That's amazing. I think you should, do more songs with your mom. That's like a very, very dope record.
Yeah, there's a few. There's one in the bunch that I'm trying to get signed, as well as, I don't know if you listen to, on the Belgian label, Tankermeneschap, but that's a bit more like melodic techno, I'd say, that EP. The one track, Miles Apart, is also my mom on the vocals.
Wow. Okay. That's very interesting. So now what are you going to do now when, you get bookings and people want you to perform with the vocalist? Are you going to bring your mom to the gigs?
I don't know if I would have a vocalist so soon on the stage. I think before that happens, I would have to have a live setup, playing the keyboard or something like that before I get vocalists involved.
Okay, so I think you played at Living Room, right, in Maboni?
Yeah, for Gum's showcase.
Yeah, for someone that has never seen you perform live, how would you describe like your live set?
I don't know. I think every time I obviously try to stick to a genre, which I wouldn't say stick to deep house or stick to techno or melodic techno, but I try to stay within house in some way, and just try bring something new every time I play. I mean, if people come watch you, if they saw you last week, you don't want them to see the same thing this week, you know what I mean? So I try surprise people when they come through.
And you drop a lot of music, right? So which leads me to my next question. Like, I know you're very young. You're in your early 20s, right?
I actually turned 20 this year.
Damn, so you're very young, man, and you're dropping a lot of music. So my question was going to be, are you doing music full time, or is there something else that you're doing on the side?
I do a few things. I'm studying though as well, and then I mean, relying on music as much as I wish I could, it's a difficult industry, especially if you want to make a living doing it. So I'm studying as well, just like a marketing type degree, and yeah, hopefully it helps promote the music as well.
No, education is very important, because I'm sure your parents are always saying you need something to back you up in case the music thing doesn't work. And what makes it worse now is the whole pandemic. So
yeah,
it's very tough for artists right now. Well, man, shout out to you for studying, and get that degree, bro. Make that money, but please don't neglect the music. Yeah.
Never. I don't think I ever will. Even if I had to have a normal job one day, even if I just produced for fun and released, I think I would always just produce, even if it's just for fun.
Okay. So my second last question, man, earlier on you mentioned that, you used to look at guys like, Black Coffee and those guys, doing big things. Who are some of your ideal, like, collaborations locally?
I don't know if you've heard of a guy called Salsa Fabri from Port Elizabeth. He's crazy. I'm actually collabing with him now, and it's going well. So he was one, as well as there's another guy called Cassis. They're all like in my age range. He's good as well. He's really good. We've been friends for a while, but somehow we haven't collabed yet, surprisingly. And then it probably would never happen, but you never know. Maybe collab with Ryan. That would be crazy. And
Okay.
maybe like a Afro house producer, like proper Afro house, maybe someone off of Gum's label to bring more Afro house flavor to what I do. I think it could be an interesting collaboration.
Oh, that will be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Sounds dope, man. I thought you were gonna mention black coffee. Everybody's always mentioning black coffee.
I think
Yeah.
that's a
So,
bit of a push. I don't see that ever happening.
hey, man, anything is possible, bro. I know. These guys, the OGs, are looking at your generation and thinking, damn, these kids are talented. They want to work with you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of even like the Africa Deep and all those guys that he's been signing lately and playing. They're crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that song by him, the Africa Deep, called is it Clouds or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a crazy right. Yeah, yeah. So look, the year just started, and I know you've already dropped something, already this year. So what is 2021 looking like for you?
Well, I'm hoping we get back to playing soon, but it's slowly getting better. I'm starting to see more places having events. But in terms of releases, like I said, like now that I'm searching for labels, I've just got them building up. So at some point, maybe this year, everything's just going to come rushing out. So hopefully it's this year. If not, maybe the second half of this year, I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, man. Look, sounds good, bro. I think you're very talented. I think,
Thank
like I
you.
said, uh, you're still gonna drop more hot tunes, more hot records, and represent SA globally. And yeah, man, we wish you the best. And yeah, every time you drop something, hit me up, and let's just dissect the music, man, on the next conversation that we'll be having.
For sure. Sounds good. I like that.
All right. I know. Good night, and thank you so much, man.
Thank you for
Catch you
having
next
me.
time.
For sure. Thank you.
Sharp, sharp.